Welcome back, Anxious Gamers. Chris here, and Josh is with us today. He is back.
Hey, y'all.
How's it
Good to be
going?
back.
It's good to see you.
Good. Good to see
missed
you.
ya.
I have missed you and all of you so much.
You look fit. You look like you've, grown.
I wish. Still just as short as I was in 8th grade.
Dang. That's okay.
You know.
Eat lots of mushrooms.
Maybe next time.
Next time. Yeah. Well, Anxious Gamers, it's great to be back. Today, we are just going to kind of catch up on a little gaming news. Kind of, chat about gaming stuff, because that's what we do. And then, we're going to talk about some of our favorite spooky games to play, because we're about to head into Spooktober.
Spooktober.
So, I am very
good old
excited
spooky month.
So Josh, while you were gone, I did a lot of research on video games, and
A lot happened.
I mean, the biggest thing is the whole Xbox leaks and drama.
Xbox managed to upload hundreds of documents and emails to a public government server where we got to read all the juicy, unredacted details.
We all know that Phil Hungster gets hungry around 12:30 p.m. because that's when he was sending this stuff late at night, and honestly, as a Xbox player and owner and future, if you don't have an Xbox and you're thinking about buying one, I wouldn't even buy one at this point. It's so discouraging to have your leader come out. To have your leader come out at the beginning. What was this, the beginning of the year, or the middle of the year, and state we've lost the console war?
Which apparently they've known for a long time.
So they announced that first, and then, not to mention all the drama with COVID and everything, but then Spencer recently in the document stated that Game Pass needs to have X amount of subscribers by 2027, or they are exiting the console business.
I wonder if that means that they're exiting the console business, hopefully putting Game Pass on like the PlayStation or whatever and PC. They're just exiting consoles.
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
Focusing fully on Game Pass.
But why would they buy all of these companies?
Well, actually, there's a really good article where Phil Spencer talks about why basically the publishing industry is eating itself. Mm-hmm. It was a really interesting. He wrote up this whole email probably late at night, and the gist of it was that they were not prepared for things like Game Pass, Steam, the digital storefronts, because the whole purpose of publishers were they would sign developers would make games would go to the physical stores. Mm-hmm. That was the only way to do that, was through a publisher, to get to be big enough to have the marketing power and being able to front the money to print physical copies and send these to stores, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. Most media is bought digitally, and it leveled the playing field, but publishers did not keep up quick enough. So now very few publishers are able to be the kind of spectacle to draw attention. Things like Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 6, Starfield. Mm-hmm. These massive developers and publishing companies are the only ones able to do that. But other AAA games, like they are having to compete with Stardew Valley and all these other indie games that are, in some cases, blowing them out of the water. I mean, look at Cities Skylines. It completely blew SimCity out of the water. Mm-hmm. And, that's this whole disruption of the entire industry. So that's why these publishers are just buying up developers left and right, is because they're trying to stabilize themselves with all these digital storefronts. So anyways.
Yeah.
No,
that's
this whole
great
thing.
I mean, I really do like subscription services that make sense. So like, Netflix to stream movies, whatever. Like if Game Pass came to PlayStation or Switch, or, it comes to TVs now. I believe Samsung TVs can just get it. That's great because, yeah, I personally don't really care about having an Xbox anymore. I would rather play Halo on the go on my Switch or play it on a PS5 that could probably run it a little bit better. Um, I I just don't care at this point. But it does kind of leave that question in the back of your head where, okay, if I pay 500 and something dollars for a Series X, what is really going to come to this console? And like by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, will Xbox even be a thing anymore? So for those of you listening, start thinking about that stuff, because the thing about Nintendo and PlayStation, they have exclusives. I really do think without third-party games, Nintendo and PlayStation could still thrive perfectly fine. I think PlayStation would have to pump out first-party games quicker. So maybe instead of one God of Year every X amount of years, whatever. Because, I mean, we had the delay with Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild is a massive game that a lot of people that truly played it are still playing it to this day, or it took them at least 5 years to really, I don't know. So it's all drama. But the leaked documents also stated a Fallout 3 and Oblivion remaster.
Remaster. Yeah.
So
that's kind of a fun. I loved Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm. Fallout 3 was good. Oblivion was good. I'm curious if those will be Xbox exclusive or not.
Depends on if Xbox is still around.
It depends on when they come out. Yeah. Platinum Games lead developer Hideki Kamiya leaves.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
He blocks a lot of people. On Twitter and all kinds of stuff. He's a drama queen, honestly. He's kind of proud of everything that he's achieved, but curious where Platinum Games will go at this point without their
head honcho. Yeah, it's a good
Goodbye,
question.
Bayonetta. Which didn't Nintendo bought Bayonetta?
It's a Nintendo property. Yeah.
So, and Astral Chain is through Platinum. So Bayonetta and Astral Chain are through Platinum. Nier is through Platinum. So I'm curious, does Nintendo own part of Platinum Games?
It's possible. Wonder if they're like a 1.5 party game.
Yeah.
Company. Not quite first party, not quite third party. Is that second party?
Yes. Hey,
I don't know.
There you go.
Mario Party 2.
Hopefully whatever he wants to do goes well. But in the meantime, Sony is hacked again by a new ransomware group.
Oh no, I didn't even see this one. When was this?
Today.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains why I haven't seen it yet.
And they said a majority of PlayStations are now hacked. And
a majority of PlayStations? Or PlayStation accounts?
I think PlayStations. Let me look.
Great. I may have to go check mine. See if it's
all of Sony's systems allegedly hacked by new ransomware group.
Nice.
We have successfully compromised all of Sony's systems. We won't ransom them. We will sell the data. Life is good.
Great. Yeah.
So I'm going to check my PlayStation as soon as we're done with this episode.
Yeah. Right.
Because I've been playing my PS4 nonstop. If you buy a new PS5, though, let's change the topic. You can now pick up a free digital game, Select Games.
Yeah, and get your information stolen.
Yep, exactly. And this offer ends October 20th. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been leaked for Switch, and it's not a cloud game.
How is that possible?
So, I I don't even want to dwell on this after playing Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. I don't even have hope anymore for Hogwarts Legacy coming to Switch. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Switch eaters are going to come at me and be like, well, Doom Eternal and Skyrim. Okay, yeah, like Doom Eternal looks good. Skyrim's an old-ass game. You know, Witcher 3, it was good, but it wasn't excellent. It was a decent port. Okay, they've patched it. It looks fine. I get it. There are plenty of Switch games that look really, really good, but I don't know. I just want I want their next hardware. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much all of the news that I have.
Nice
for us. That's a lot.
All right. That was a lot.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of good stuff there.
So,
the death of Xbox, the hacking of Sony.
It's a lot
and the Switch finally feeling underpowered.
Yeah.
Like truly underpowered.
I still love the Switch, but I'm starting to to be honest, I've felt the Switch fatigue for like 2 years now. And I love that system to death, but it's a bummer I can't play a $70 game that like looks good, or I can't get Resident Evil 4 Remake on it. It's starting to turn into, it's not as bad as the Wii era.
Well, the thing about the Resident Evil 4 Remake that's hilarious to me is it's coming to phones and iPads.
I will say this. I do think it'll come to the Switch too. I because the developers have all the other Resident Evil games on Switch. Now, some of them are cloud. But they did state in one of the Resident Evil 4 trailers that they want to get it on as many platforms as possible. So the reason why I don't think we have it on cloud right now is because I really do think that will be either a launch game or a third-party game that comes later on down the line in the Switch 2's life cycle. So,
I mean, that makes sense.
Because I feel like a ton of third-party developers just have their games lined up for Nintendo's next system to make a ton of money off of it.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, if you really want to play the game, if you have the money, just get another system and play it.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. That is all the news we have for you gamers. Be sure to check us out every Thursday for our episode. This episode this week is going to be Spooktober games that we are talking about. What we like to play when we get spooky with each other.
I don't know. Let's rephrase that.
No, hell no. I want to get spooky with you.
There is no getting spooky with each other. We can get spooky together, but not with each other.